Hello everybody, it's Panda here again with Panda's Gaming Music. And I got something that's very interesting off of Temu. And today we're going to see what it is. So I already got the box right here for us. And I've already gone through it. So what we have here is the Leo Jaymz, or Jaymz, however you want to pronounce it. The Stratocaster style guitar. And it's a DIY kit. So you got different things for lessons, stuff like that I don't know if I'm ever going to use them. Probably not. It comes with the DIY kit, well, the instructions for it, which we're not going to use, because why would we? So, as you can see, the body's already here, is probably set up somewhat. They already got the pick guard in here already, which that's not screwed down, so we can just take it on and off. And all it's going to be is a plug and play in the back. Now I'm going to set the body off to the side, which we're going to do more to that in just a few. That was box one. And the long box that you find up here at the top, this is going to be your neck. Which I've already got unwrapped because I had to adjust the truss rod in it earlier. That way I could kind of straighten it up a little bit, so it should be able to play directly out the box. Some things that you will find, especially if it's coming from overseas, a lot of times you're going to have to adjust the truss rod right away whenever you get something, because of the difference in temperatures and all that whenever it's going through shipping. So, that being said, this neck should be fine now. And in your third box, what we have, which I put this in here myself because I knew I had to grab it, you're going to have your tremolo set up. It does come with the last little bit of wiring stuff that you need. It comes with your tuners, your jack plate. It comes with your whammy bar, as some people call it, or tremolo arm. It even comes with an extra jack for you if you don't have one. Now you will. It's got copper tape in here. That way you can shield the inside. Let me unfold it a little bit so I can show you. It's got a little bit of that. That should be enough to do one guitar. Or almost. Then again, I kind of go overboard sometimes with it. But it's better to go overboard than not put any at all. We're going to set the tuners off to the side over here. And in this box, well, not box, but in this bag, you got all your hardware that you need to put it together. Really, the only things that you need are going to be a screwdriver, most preferably like a Phillips head, and you're going to need a ratchet, or you can have a 10mm wrench, but most of them are 10mm. Some are going to be off sizes like 11, 12, and that's really the size I've seen. But I got that set up for us too. Also off of Temu, so we're going to get a 2-for-1 in this. And you even get a strap. And you got your back plate here too. Nothing fancy, it's a back plate. Now I did have to do some work to the tremolo here, which I'm probably going to have to do some more whenever we get it put on there and I get the strings on it. Probably going to have to adjust it to where it's setting like it's supposed to and not too high or anything. Try to give it as low of an action as I can give it without string buzz, which I can do another video on that after this. The main thing that we're going to work on right now is I'm going to take the body and I want to do something a little special to it because we got this already. I already got the stuff to dye it. And we're going to put a nice little pattern on here, something that I haven't seen anybody do. So to start out with, I don't feel any rough spots in it, so I don't feel a need for it, so I have to sand it. Alright, technical difficulties aside, it looks to be fairly decent. I see where they blew through the back a little bit right here, which that's not hard to do, but I kind of wish they didn't do that. It's not perfect at all. And I see they got some debris down there where they went too far with the drill. I'm not too happy about that, but for what you're getting and the price I paid for it, I can deal with a few little imperfections. Because this off of Temu came up to like 70 bucks. What the hell? We'll try it and figure it out. So now that we got that part situated, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take some Scotch tape and I'm going to kind of layer it off to where I can get the patterns I want. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go from front to back with it. Wherever I start is where I'm going to end. So keep it straight. Now that I got you here, I know I started over here, so I kind of have to bring this straight, keep some tension on it. And that's the spot that I need it to sit level on. Now that we got there, I'll go back through and I'll settle that back down a little bit. And now that I got it somewhat laying flat, I'm going to go ahead and put a few more down, and then I'm going to come right back to it and show you how I got it set up. Alright, now I got that set up, and I got the design somewhat laid out, and I think it's going to look a little different. So the colors I got for this, they're going to be this liquid well, they're both liquid, but this is some blue dye, and I got some cherry red dye. I'm not going to do any mixes of it. We're going to see how it comes out. The first thing that we're going to do when dyeing this, we're going to figure out where we want it in our heads. And I got that pretty much figured out already. Because the last one I made, I didn't get in a kit like this. I just bought the parts myself and put it together. And that's how I wound up with 3 EMGs into a Stratocaster body. So, with this, you can add it directly to the wood itself and not have to worry about it too much. Main thing is give it a little shake. Now that we've done that, I want to go ahead and apply a tiny bit here, 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 here. Okay, and then I'm just going to take the rag I got for that, which you want something that's kind of like a microfiber style towel, if you can use it. And the way that we're going to do this is just kind of lay it in there. If you let it sit too long, it's going to just get really dark on one spot. That's not what we want. But we're going to have to go through this again, and I probably should have put on some gloves before I started this. And I'm not too worried about the colors being a little off. It's going to look like I fingered a Smurf in a minute. Sorry, Papa Smurf. So, now that we got this kind of figured out, just a few little dabs. Some people are going to say you're doing too much with it, but not really. You do yours the way you want to do it. I'm going to do mine the way I want to. And that's the beauty of it. If it turns out like shit, it's because I made it look like shit. Nobody can be mad about that except for me. See, I'm not going to worry about that too much, because here it is. Add a few little dabs. I want this to be a really dark blue. I know I've gone over a little bit here and there, but it's not going to hurt nothing. When they say a little dab will do you, they weren't lying. But I don't think this is the kind of dabs they were talking about. It was the 70s. And if you're wondering if I'm going to leave it kind of blank on the sides or in the middle, I'm going to. You'll see why after I'm done. Whether you love it or hate it, it's going to be a beautiful piece of art to me. And that's really what matters the most. It's not what everybody else thinks about your work. It's more of what you think about it. Did it make you happy? I hope so, because you're the one that did it. like Rick James after a concert. We're just going all over the place with it. My mother's over there in the corner trying not to laugh at me. She is trying really hard not to ruin the video, and I appreciate it. But I'm still going to keep making these terrible jokes. Well, because it's fun. And the more pain I put her in with her trying not to laugh, the better off it's going to be. So, we're going to just keep adding till we get kind of a uniform look to it. I want it a little spotchy. I don't want it perfect. Just so it adds a little character to it. And hopefully the tape kind of holds up and doesn't let everything through. That's the main thing I'm worried about. And if it does, no big deal. I'll just add a little extra character to it. Now you can paint on any guitar. You just gotta take your time. I feel more comfortable dyeing it than I do painting it. And that's because I know I can get the dye to lay down flatter a lot easier. And it does take a little bit for it to dry. It doesn't take all that long. So don't get into a rush like it looks like I'm doing. Really, I'm not getting into a rush. It's just that I've done this before, except for the design portion. I didn't do a design in the last one. I just did all single colored. If you notice, it's going into that wood really nice, especially here in the back. Got a couple of little spots here and there that we gotta kind of go into a little bit more, but actually, I'm kind of digging that. You know what? Fuck it. We're not going to worry about it. What we are going to do while we're here, we're going to make my wife jealous when she watches this video. Just joking. I'd never try to make her jealous on purpose. So white lines, we got some blue going on. It's blue, dabba dee dabba die. As long as she's not a guy, I don't think I will cry. Alright. We got a couple little spots here that I'm trying to get into a little deeper. That's what she said. Now let's go ahead and flip this over to this side. Now I got a couple more spots to do. And if you guys like the corny jokes and all that, just know I'm full of them. And some people will say I'm full of something else sometimes, but, and they're not wrong. Sometimes I am full of shit, but that's only after I eat Taco Bell. But who isn't? Alright. You don't have to do it like this. If you want lighter, you can just use water to kind of tone it down a little bit. It's just for the design I have in mind. I want it darker. I guess it's similar to ink with how it goes, so that might give you an idea. You don't have to do the inside of the guitar. It's not like anybody's going to see the inside of the guitar, even you. Unless you open it back up for whatever reason. Maybe you want to modify it, which is fine. It's your guitar. You modify it if you want to. But if you don't know what you're doing, you can either find videos teaching you how to do it, or you can figure it out on your own, which that's my favorite way to figure things out. Figure it out on your own, and if you screw up, guess whose fault it was? Yeah, that's right. The person that told you to do it to begin with, which was probably yourself. So, just checking. If you do something wrong, there's no big reason to worry about it. And those are too small for my hand, so I can't use those gloves. I have very, very big hands. With fat sausage fingers. Okay. And it's going to look kind of purple. It's a little too late for that. We're not worried about gloves. It's just going to have to look like I murdered Smurfs and whoever their rivals are. And sorry about the hand shot. Nobody wants a hand shot. They want something else that belongs with a hand, but not a shot. All right. We are almost done with the blue. Now, is on to our next color. After I remember what I did with the top. Okay, right here. The magical blue hands. Is it in you? Ooh. Okay. Now with the red, I have not opened this yet. So I got to pop the top. Roar! It's Godzilla! Okay, it's not, but we're going to screw this back on. Give it a valid check. Treat it like it owes you money. Because you paid for it. And now that we got shaken up a little bit, I guess we didn't have to shake it up. Be very gentle. Drop a little on. Move it out of the way very quickly. Alright, now this is laying down a little lighter than I thought it would, but it's fine too. Yee, shit, that was not part of the plan. This is why I'm glad we got rags. Well, it's laying in dark like I wanted it to now. Sometimes I think this is how Gibson does theirs. Because I've seen some of the work that they've done and it was not pretty. Hell, I have some work that Epiphone's done. And sadly, the Epiphones seem to be a little better quality nowadays than the Gibsons. And that's sad because I really love Gibson. The SGs and the Les Pauls are my favorites. And I know there's going to be some people in the comments that are not going to like that too much, but it's true. Sorry. Just pouring a little extra on there and rub-a-dub-dub. There we go. Now we're rubbing it in. Do-do-do-do. Thank you for the helping hand there. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Not singing too much of that because I'll probably get copyright on it. It's the blood from Dracula. Blood.
You do too much sound either.
Okay. We almost got the last little bit of this dyed in a little bit more. And I can see they had a couple of spots in the wood. But that's no big deal. We're not worried about it. We're not trying to make perfect. We're trying to make fun, damn it. Alright, it's time to flip it over. Let's be very careful. Thank you. Now what we do, we're going to take a little more blah, blah. You know what? I'm kind of wanting some bleed out with this combo. It's going to look freaking awesome. And don't worry, I'm going to go back over any spots that need to touch up. And I will touch them up. Because this is going to take a few to dry. Alright, now it's time to turn it. And looks like I need to put a different box up under here. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, that looks wicked. Dude, I'm kind of digging that. You know what? Let's just kind of lay that there. And instead of that, what we're going to do is turn the box itself. Let me, because I kind of want that pattern on both sides now. Hopefully it stays. And the slow turns have come and gone. Okay. Extra hands. And I need to move these. That way I can get everything down yonder where it goes. Okay. I need the rag that I was using. Thank you, Ma. Looks like we got enough sucked in to where we might not need any more to dye. It's starting to come out really dark up here already. Main thing is, after we get it done, it's going to be letting this dry, which doesn't take all that long. And then we're going to have to coat it. And when we coat it, it's going to come out a lot better. Just a little drop. Try to get a little more uniform here. This is part that we are going to see a little bit of because it's right there by the neck. Rubby. Rub. And this is what happens to men when we have kids. We get a little special. So now, hey. We just kind of blend in a little bit. I'm trying to hold this phone where you guys can see. This is what happens when you get the cheapest dye you can off of Amazon. Thank you, Amazon, for letting me be so cheap. Even though we're not sponsored by either freaking one. That's fine. I don't want them to sponsor me anyway. This is a nice way to do honest reviews. Because when you pay for stuff yourself, you kind of want the honest review. You don't want to sit there and go, well, they're paying me for it, so let me make you feel like you have to buy this because they paid me to tell you you have to buy this. No, if it's ass, whenever I'm done, I'm going to tell you it's ass. That's the best way to do it. Alright, time to lift a little bit and kind of get in the nooks and crannies. Make her feel special. Buy her flowers from the Dollar Tree. And just know you'll never see her again because you bought her flowers from Dollar Tree, you cheap fuck. 9 times out of 10. Because, let's face it, we're in the music here. We're not going to have much money either way we go. And I'm trying not to waste any of the dye. Oh, cool. The pattern did come out. Now it's time to flip it completely. And please make sure the red goes under red when you lay it down, even though this is going to be yours. Sponsored by Pandas. There we go. Now it's time to finish the show. Finish the show. I want it like that. It looks freaking cool. Now that we've about got it done, this is not a tutorial on how to dye wood, by the way. If anybody's thinking this is a tutorial on how to dye wood, you are wrongly mistaken, my friends. This is more of a tutorial on how not to dye wood. Unless you want it done the Ford way, and if the Ford way is the way you want it, that means black is the only color you can get, and or how did they put it? You can have any color you want as long as it's black. There you go. That's the logic. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and smooth this out a little bit down here too. And we will come back in just a little bit. And I will let this dry. Typically it takes like 30 plus minutes for it to dry. Meanwhile, my hand looks like a war zone. You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. Don't ask me why I use that voice for it. But sound more like Bill Clinton did. Sound more like Bill Clinton there. But anyways, this is the kind of pattern I was hoping for with it. We will come back shortly after this dries and I will start the clear coat. Alright everybody, that's pretty much go ahead and get this last little bit going. What I have here is some lacquer, or it's basically like clear coat for it. Lays down better if you go with the grain of the wood. I would recommend a face mask for this if you're going to be doing it. Also, I would recommend you do this outside, but I am not doing that because I am special. And I don't follow my own advice because I'm being special. Alright, we're going to let this side dry. And then we'll flip it over and do the other side. This stuff dries pretty quickly though. So, don't worry. We will return. Alright guys, we're back. I got the back side pretty much done enough to where I can clear coat it. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the top and once we get the top done, it'll be time to peel the tape off and start adding our last little bit of coatings to it. First, we'll do a couple more layers of the coating. Alright, I think that's about good enough to just sit here and let it dry for a few. And then I will come back again and we will continue just clear coating the absolute hell out of this thing. Make it nice and shiny. And then after that, it's going to be polishing it. Which the polishing part isn't going to take all that long. I know this video's... I'm not too sure how long this video is going to be exactly. But I'm going to try to get all of it done in one video for you. That way you don't have to sit there and go, oh, how did this turn out? And go through that rabbit hole. Let's just take a small break. Let it dry out, take the tape off, and then go over it a few more times. I gotta say, it's coming out pretty damn cool. I'm actually surprised. Alright guys, I'm back and I got the tape off. So now you can see what I was thinking whenever I made it. A lot of this is going to get covered up by the pick guard where it's kind of bled through a little bit. You got a few spots in the back, but kind of adds a little extra character to it. So I'm not worried about it. The only thing that we have to worry about now, because I've already touched up a few little spots on the corners where the tape was, it's not perfect. It's not going to be. But what we are going to do is we'll put those boxes over that I got down here once I get y'all situated. Mostly situated. That way we got a surface that we can lay it on that's not tainted. Or completely tainted. By that, I mean you don't have to worry about it dyeing the wood anymore. Now we're just going to layer down. Do a couple thin coats all the way around it. This is going to be definitely unique. It's not a design that you see very often. Not anymore. And even though I'm making this as a gift, I'm not really cutting any corners. I'm doing this because I want it to be nice. I want to be proud of something I did. And it's going to be my mom's first electric guitar, so. The only experience she's had is a little bit of me trying to teach her how to play a few chords. It's not really much. That's why I like having microfiber towels. If there's any debris that gets into it, just go ahead and get it out and go back over it. Now we're going to let this side dry. It's really becoming something special. I think she'll enjoy this for quite a while. So let's give this a little bit of time to dry up, and then I'll flip it over, lay some more coats of the lacquer on it, and whenever it's done drying up really good, which normally takes about an hour if you do like a thick coat of it. I'm not doing thick coats, I'm just doing small thin coats, which normally takes about 10-15 minutes in between each coat. Then after that, I'll let it dry completely and let it cure, which that does take an hour for it to completely cure, or sometimes it'll take about 2 hours, but it's not going to be too bad for it. Let's just see you guys in a few more minutes. Okay, we got that side pretty much dried up. Time to start with this side again. I'm probably going to be high as a Georgia pine by the time I'm done with this. But it's coming out the way I was hoping it would too. And that's the beauty of this. Take your time, get it done, do it right the first time. And if there's any imperfections in it, not exactly what you're wanting, that's fine. You can sand that down and start all over again. Or if you just like the imperfections that came out into it, which I'm pretty fond of. By the way, I went ahead and I clear coated the top, because I asked my mom if she wanted anything special done up here. She said no, so plain top it is. And that's pretty much dried out too, so we don't have to worry about that. Set that back for a little bit, and we'll sit here and watch this dry. literally watching paint dry is part of this whole damn process. So after I get done with the clear coat, I'll start putting everything together, and I'll come back whenever it's time for that. Alright guys, we are back, and I did a couple things while we're waiting for everything to get done. And I went ahead, I shielded the inside of the guitar to make it a little less likely to start humming. But at this point, we're looking pretty decent. Like, this looks really nice to me. It should be good enough for us to start actually building the guitar itself now. And what we'll do is I'll go ahead and move everything over to start putting it together, and then we'll polish it and start getting it going and seeing how it sounds. I'm very curious about it. So give me 1 second and I'll get everything ready for that. Alright. So I figured the best way to start out with, after a couple of seconds of talk, we'll go ahead and polish it up. I got a polishing kit from Divisor, which has your fretboard cleaner, and it's got some string cleaner, stuff like that in it. And it's also got the main thing that we need right now, the guitar polish. Just shake it up a little bit, and we can just spray it on there. It's not going to hurt nothing. And what this is going to do, it's going to make it nice and somewhat shiny. Just kind of wipe it down a little bit, because it's going to help us clean it up a little bit as we do this. So and get some of them burrs that's up there off of it. Just a nice small polish, nothing major, because it's freshly done. You don't want to do it too much, because then you're going to start taking stuff off that you don't need to take off. It's just more of so we don't have to worry about this staining up clothes or anything like that, and gets rid of any excess off. And I'm just going to do the front because that's where most of the work's going to happen. And then after it's completely cured and all, we'll actually polish it. It's not going to hurt anything. First thing that we can start out with is we're going to start out with our jack port first. Now, jack port's in a little bag on its own. Well, not really on its own. It's got a spot here that's going to clip into the back of the circuit board, you might as well call it. And what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and kind of finagle this through the hole. Guys, I know what you're thinking. You probably tried to finagle a couple things through holes, but this is a little different. Now that we got that set up, the next part's going to be getting some of our screws out. That way we can go ahead and mount it and have this out the way. So let's see, it's going to have typically some of the smaller screws, like I'm guessing it's going to be the screws in this bag here. Just going to take a screwdriver, poke a hole, kind of monkey our way into it. Because we're going to need those screws next. And this part should be pretty straightforward. Just line it up with the holes and get it started by hand. That way you don't strip anything. Line your other one up. Same thing, start by hand. Sometimes it's going to be a little more difficult than others. And we'll take our screwdriver and just right on down. If it's wanting to fight you, then chances are you are probably stripping out the hole or making a new one. This wood, so you can do that. We don't have to have it tighter than Jesus on this. So just ease it on down. That should be good enough. Next thing I'm going to do, we're going to flip it over. And if you notice, we got two little holes right here. That's where our tremolo setup's mainly going to be. Is this is going to be your grounding part for it, which I gotta find. I think is this around here somewhere. Damn it! I'm probably overlooking it. Here it is. So if you notice, it's got these little hooks on it. That's where your springs are going to go. And right here is where the screws are going to go in to hold it in place up here. Lucky for us, the screw holes are already drilled. And we're going to take these, just kind of flop them in there a little bit. Make sure that our grounding wire is out the way. You don't want that to get in the way. Like before, just kind of line one up. Start a little bit by hand, take a screwdriver. And instead of just straight up running this all the way in right away, we're just going to go in a little bit to where it's not moving. And then on the other hole, kind of get this wire out the way enough to do this. That way you can kind of get over here. Probably going to have to start this by the screwdriver. That way you can hold it in place. Just go really easy with it. That way it can kind of line itself up. Now that we got that going, let's kind of... I'm using the wrong screwdriver for this shit, but you get the point. It's going to now get to the part where we'll have to kind of work this in. And again, if it's starting to get too tight or whatever, just back it on out. There's no reason to fight it. It's already pre-drilled for you, so you shouldn't have to fight it. So let's go ahead and back both of them out. Because I don't want to have to make new holes into the thing just for it to do like it's supposed to. And let's face it, I'm not as powerful as a drill whenever it comes to just hand tools.
chair.